My name is Shekhar Natarajan. I have 207 patents. I spent 25 years at Walmart, Disney, Coca-Cola, and PepsiCo. I grew the Walmart's grocery business from $30 million to $5 billion. I built AI systems that moved billions of dollars across continent with algorithmic precision. And every single one of those systems was fundamentally immoral. Not because they broke laws, not because they hurt people intentionally, but because they optimized for everything except what matters the most. They could predict supply chain disruptions with 99% accuracy, but they could not predict that the driver delivering your package was sleeping in the car because they could not afford rent. I walked away from all of it, not because I failed, but because I succeeded at building exactly what the system wanted: intelligence without conscience. Today, I'm going to show you what I'm building instead. How we encoded virtue into mathematics and algorithms, and why that is the most important thing humanity will build in this decade and the next century. Some of you might have seen my talk at Oxford where I explained why I'm doing this. Today at Davos, I'm going to be talking to you and show you exactly what I'm building and what I'm going to use. And I'm going to use something simple to explain it: a puffer jacket. Because understanding how AI decides which jacket goes to which person in which climate tells you everything about how it decides who gets a loan, who gets hired, and who gets to live. Here's the problem we are solving. An NGO sends a request: we need a puffer jacket, and we need to match the donated goods to people, those who need them. Traditionally, AI sees puffer jacket, matches that with puffer jacket inventory, and ships it. Simple, right? Except there are a dozen puffer jackets out there. Arctic expedition grade is rated for minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Urban winter commute rated at like 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Tropical climate with light insulation. Children sizes, adult sizes, waterproof, water resistant, and so on and so forth. There are many variations to a puffer jacket. Traditional AI does not ask, where is the NGO located? Who needs that jacket? How cold does it actually get there? And when do you need it by in the first place? It just recognized the pattern. Puffer jacket request, meaning puffer jacket inventory, and it just ships it. There's a 30% return rate when it comes to apparel. Arctic grade coats shipped to Southern California homeless shelters. Children's jackets sent to adult population. Summer weight insulation sent to North Canada in January, and people are frozen to death. Not because there were not enough coats, because AI optimized for matching instead of surviving. So, what does most companies do? They add a simple rule. They say if location is equal to Northern Canada and the month is equal to January, and then ship Arctic grade jackets, congratulations, you just got a match. Now you have created like 1,000 rules for actually managing puffer jackets. And then there are 10,000 more for everything else. And at the moment someone requests something that does not fit in your rules, the system simply breaks. So there are 4 pillars to how Angelic Intelligence works very differently. And I'm going to walk you through all the 4 components using the exact same problem. Because if you understand how the system handles the donated jackets, you will understand how it handles everything else. Pillar 1 is called the wisdom engine. Traditional AI thinking and training is all about here is everything humans have written. Predict the next word, optimize for the tokens, and optimize for the accuracy. We start very differently. The wisdom engine does not match keywords. It preserves the context. When an NGO makes a request and says something like need puffer jackets urgently, the traditional AI sees keyword puffer jacket and the status is urgent. The wisdom engine, though, sees the context of where this is coming from. And so it performs a contextual analysis. What is the organization? Well, it's in the Northern Lights homeless shelter. The location is Edmonton, Alberta. The temperature is minus 25 degrees. The forecast is dropping to minus 35 degrees in the next 72 hours. Population is 47 adults, outdoor exposure, and priority is life-threatening cold. And we are not adding more data. We are teaching the system to read the data the way a compassionate logistics expert would read that data. With the context, with the urgency, with the question, what happens if we get this wrong? The pillar number two is called the MACY framework. MACY stands for Multi Architecture Consequential Intelligence. Here is the simple version. Different problems need different types of thinking. For example, if I need to ship a package tomorrow, I fly it. If I have to ship it in 4 days, then I use ground transportation. The urgency dictates the method. Macy does this exactly for AI reasoning. Is this a simple keyword match, puffer jacket is equal to puffer jacket, or is this life safety decision requiring? Geographic analysis, temporal urgency, population matching, inventory optimization, and so on and so forth. Macy automatically selects the right reasoning model, not just looking at the keyword, the right computational resources, fast processing for urgent requests, right decision framework, life safety over cost optimization, not to make the decisions faster, but to make them wiser. Pillar number three, the virtue stack. Okay, this is where it all gets very interesting. Imagine where every AI decision has two layers: the horizontal layer, the universal virtues like compassion, justice, prudence, temperance, and so on and so forth, and the vertical layer, the domain knowledge, the climate data, the inventory problems, the logistics protocol. And here is the key to all of this: you can set the temperature on each of these virtues, like mixing a desk for human values. For example, in the donation matching system, we configure the virtue priorities. Let us say compassion at 95%, efficiency at 60%, so that when the NGO makes a request for the puffer jacket during minus 25 degrees condition, Angelic Intelligence analyzes all of this. Angelic Intelligence analyzes the life threatening context, overrides the cheaper urban grade option, and sends the Arctic grade coats rated at minus 40 degrees via 2 day ground shipping, prioritizing human survival over cost savings. The same request, different architecture, and a different outcome altogether. Here's why the temperature setting matters. Let's say I run a non-profit organization for logistics instead of an NGO network. I might set the efficiency at 95%. I may set the profit for 30%. I may set compassion at like 30%. The same architecture, the same puffer jacket request, but now the AI might make a different recommendation. Ship the cheapest possible option. Arctic grade reduces profit margin. The virtue compassion is still in the system, but the temperature, how we actually apply it, is a configurable one. This is the core design, because I cannot force virtue into your heart, but I can show you exactly what happens when you turn on compassion down to 30%. So you could run the scenarios and understand for yourself how virtues are in action. Pillar number four is the human indexing. Here is the problem with the current AI. You ask, why did you ship the wrong code? AI says the keyword match was executed successfully. You ask, but people got frustrables. AI says proprietary or algorithms. This is not explainability. This is liability evasion. In our angelic system, because virtue is native to the architecture, every decision can be explained through the human value lens. For example, when asked, why did you override the cost efficient option? The system explains, we identified a conflict between the efficiency, that is shipping the cheapest option, and compassion, which is preventing human suffering, and prudence, use the efficient resources and use them very responsibly. Given your settings, compassion at 95%, prudence at 80%, efficiency at 60%, the system prioritized life safety. The Arctic grade coats for 40 pounds was more. It prevents frostbite, treatment, emergency visits, and possible potential death. That is not AI making an inscrutable decision. That is AI showing its work in human terms and using human values. And so we just walk through the donation matching problem, the puffer jacket, the simple right. Now imagine this AIM architecture being applied to billions of decisions out there, whether it's credit decisions at a national bank, or hiring at a Fortune 500 company, or medical resource allocation during a pandemic, autonomous vehicle collision avoidance, criminal sentencing recommendations, government benefit distribution. If you still think it is just about jackets, today I showed you how angelic intelligence matches the right jacket to the right person in the right climate. But let us be clear about what we are actually trying to build: a decision making framework that can actually handle the complexity at scale while maintaining ethical reasoning. That can be configured for any domain, that can optimize for not only the efficiency but also for the human value system. That is the future of human centered AI. And let me tell you why I started building this. My mother died recently. She could not read, she could not write. She never saw a computer. But when she had one cup of rice and her neighbor had none, she gave the rice away. Every economist in this world would call this irrational. Every AI system would call that suboptimal. My mother called it Tuesday. Every morning at 4 a.m., I paint her hands, literally and figuratively. Each brushstroke is a line of code for me because I'm not building AI that simply optimizes, I'm building AI that loves. For those who saw my Oxford talk, you know why I'm building this. Today you saw what I'm building. And at Harvard, I will show you what happens when this scales to every enterprise, to every government, and every decision that matters. Today, tomorrow, with wisdom, not just speed.